好，呢個就係半澤直樹鬧個總裁，你去食屎啊！10倍奉還嗰間房啊！嚇？唔係啊，賣咗啊！年尾嗰陣時賣咗。雖然佢必贏個 market 啊，但係我始終覺得佢mortgage係樣衰。
So one of my favorite little details about this entire office complex is on the wall over here. This in this clock. These numbers around the outside of the clock are in a font that was designed for TD Center in the 1960s. It was an original commission at the time, and it's used pretty widely. So if you are down in the lobby and you notice the signs, the various directional signs down there all use the same font. It's usually white text on a black background. It's very plain, very minimal, and very easy to read. And the idea is that it sort of reflects the overall aesthetic of TD Center as a whole. There's still, the owners of this building are still very strict about how the font is used, and they have a style guide that when new tenants come in, they must follow the rules, and they can't just put up any signs they like. They have to keep the font and keep the branding, which I think is really neat. They're continuing to maintain it. The other great thing about this room, for me, is all around us in these oakwood panels. This oak was all sourced from the same place. It all comes from one estate in the south of England. It was shipped over in very large pieces and then worked together into the various sizes here in Toronto. So those of you who are sitting at the board table will notice how thick this wood is. These pieces are incredibly large and incredibly heavy, so much so that when they were putting the furniture in and building this table, they couldn't get the pieces in any other way than by craning them in through the window. So the construction crane brought this board table in at about 10 pieces, and it was all assembled on this spot. It weighs an incredible amount. It basically has not moved from this spot since the 1960s because if you wanted to move it, you couldn't. This carpet around the outside, actually, that's protecting the marble floor, is not under the table. The table is on the marble floor, and the carpet is cut around the legs of the table.
即係喐唔到咁就將佢咁樣嚟 cut。
This marble, where you can see it, is travertine marble. All comes from one quarry. It all came from one quarry in Italy and was shipped over and worked in pieces here. But they didn't just cut the tile into squares and throw it wherever they wanted. First of all, the designers of this building made sure that the grain of the marble all runs in the same direction. So you can see that it has these natural veins that run horizontally along the floor like this. When the marble is used on the wall, it usually runs left to right, right to left, horizontally. And the idea is that it mimics how the marble naturally forms, sort of sedimentary like that, so it preserves these lines in the marble. The last thing I'd like to tell you about is underneath all of you, these great chairs. These are called Berno chairs. He's a furniture designer as well as an architect. And he designed these chairs with another designer called Bilibala in the late 1920s. So those of you who are doing the math will work out that when this design was chosen for the boardroom at TD Center, it was already 30 years old. Makes you wonder if any 1980s furniture would look as good in a modern office environment. Don't think it really would. But now this design of chair is close to 100 years old, which is really remarkable to me. That a century later, almost, the design of these chairs still looks incredibly fresh and sleek and modern. And actually, that's what I think is so good about TD Center, is that we're in a building that's 50 years old, sitting on furniture designed close to a century ago, and yet we still feel like we're in a modern office environment, in a modern boardroom. And I think that's really the strength of the building and the strength of the interior design, is that it's such such classic, and it holds up despite the years. If you have any questions on your
好，我哋有呢個秘書姐姐嘅房啦。秘書姐姐凳，哇！你有潔癖啊佢。呢度咧就係門面，望住前面，哇！咁多賓客啊，好似長洲賓客咁，人數特別多。
My name is Alex Kwok. I'm the collections manager and art administrator for TD Bank. As you may be able to tell, there's quite a few paintings on this floor. They all belong within the TD Bank art collection. So the collection itself started in 1961, initiated by the CEO at the time, Adam Lambert. He was very much inspired when he went down to New York and he saw the Manhattan Chase Bank collection. So he came back to Toronto and he partnered up with Martin Baldwin, who was the curator and director of the AGO at the time. So the two of them started the collection exclusively only collecting Canadian art. And that is still true till today, where since 1961, TD Bank has one of the largest corporate art collection in Canada. We also have one of the largest indigenous art collection in the country as well. You can see the soapstone sculpture behind you. It's actually representative of continuing support the bank has for indigenous culture in the country. If you haven't checked it out, we actually have a separate gallery space in the lobby level on 79 Wellington Street on the TD South Tower, where we host one of the largest display of indigenous art.
咩嚟㗎？老虎咁，呢個炮。
It's a separate gallery space.
碑啊嚟嘅。
So back to the collection itself, the painting behind me might look very familiar, and it's a painting made in 1952 by the artist Jean-Paul Riopel. He actually recently had a retrospective that recently closed down in the beginning of May at the AGO, so that might look familiar. In the 1950s, Riopel was very much inspired by the Parisian surrealist movement in the 40s, as well as impacted by the New York abstract expressionists in the 50s as well. So people like Jackson Pollock, William de Kooning, French Klein, all these people are in conversation with Riopel in making these aggressive, colorful paintings. So the idea behind it, it's all about having a mediated translation of the artist's psychological states directly onto the canvas itself. So whatever the psychological experience the artist is having, it's all about the gesture, it's all about the emotional, subjective experience that the artist is experiencing at the time. But if you fast forward to the 60s in Canada and the States, if you look at the painting behind you, it's a painting by an artist called Jack Bush, painting in 1966. And in the later parts of the abstract expressionist movement, artists was very much fed up with people in the 50s, like Riopel, where it's all about
太混亂啦，我簡單啲，由簡單到複雜，複雜到簡單。
having a controlled environment, having an understanding of the psychological aspects of what it means to be a painter at the time. So Jack Bush has expert knowledge on what it means to handle paint, to handle a brush, to have understanding of the discipline that's required to make paint on canvas. So for these two paintings to be in this room is very, very representative of the conversation that was taking place in Canada during the 50s and the 60s in the Canadian art world, where people like Jack Bush was making things in direct reaction against people like Riopel. And still that still holds true today, where a lot of times we still stay true to the vision that Lambert set for the collection itself, where we collect art much more beyond the monetary value or decorative purposes, but we could buy art to provide an extra dimension to all TV employees in Canada, to have an extra dimension to their day-to-day business lives, to provide a catalyst for anything from a casual icebreaker to a potential having an inspiring conversation between two different opinions. And thank you.
嗱佢咧嗰啲司令咧 suppose 咧就有啲分別咁樣，佢換位咗咧，咁但係一來咁高啦，二來即係我真係睇唔到個分別咯，係咯。阿小米又唔喺度，豈有此理，唔知走去邊啊？係咯，有個設計師朋友嚇，咁佢會知啊。呢個有好多牛喎，有幾多隻牛啊？1、2、3、4、5、6、7隻牛啊，7牛啊！係噗噗，跟住佢哋就噗噗，係啦，一腳牛屎。 TD West 啦呢度，佢又話咧啲牆身咧有啲唔同，但係我淨係睇到陽光之中嘅分別，但我又睇唔到佢個 painting 有啲咩唔同，唉，真係算啦。